Hey everybody, Chris Matan here, Real Estate Machine Show. And we're going to talk about the 5 things that keep me stress-free throughout the day. Now, look, everybody's got a little stress throughout the day, but finding ways to mitigate it or to kind of manage it, I think is really, really important. It just adds to your quality of life. It enhances your quality of life if you can kind of manage some of that stress. So here are the 5 things that I do that I think are important for, everybody to kind of consider. And maybe you don't have to do all of them, but if you cherry pick which ones you might think might really work for you, you'd be surprised at the results. So anyway, I'm going to dive right in. Point number one, step number one starts off first thing in the morning. You got to give yourself some quiet alone time for yourself in the morning. I take minimum 1 hour before anybody's getting up. It's still dark outside. I sit in silence. I sit in dim light. I have a cup of coffee. I read a little. I write a little. But most importantly, I'm just kind of sitting there with myself. I'm just being, and I'm kind of living in my own thoughts, and I'm living in the thoughts that what the day has to what's going to come of this day, and what do I have to look forward to? Am I meeting somebody today? Are there certain things that I know I need to get done today? So my mind is kind of like preparing myself, preparing my body for the day to come. Now, to piggyback on that, step number two is having yourself a calendar. And when you have a calendar, I don't mean specifically to input appointments, specific appointments into that calendar. And then, so the only thing that you see on that calendar are the specific appointments. What I do, and what I think is really, really helpful, is I time block the entire day from the time I wake up till the time I go to sleep. And every block has a color. So when I look at my phone and I see the calendar in front of me. I use a 3 day. I use a Google Calendar, so I have up the 3 days, and the entire 3 days, it's all blocks of colors, and it really sets up a routine for me. And everything's got its own color, from family time to my own time to Marich Machine time, EXP commercial time, lunches, appointments, gym, all those things. Everybody's got a time block. So I try to structure my day in such a way where I don't lose control of it and I have some sort of command of what's going to happen in those time blocks. And then when you actually do have specific appointments that you need to remind yourself of or, mark down, you put those in the calendar under its own color. And that then, if you kind of time block from 1 to 4 for appointments, you can kind of almost mentally think that when somebody is asking you for something and or meeting you someplace, maybe you can get it in that 1 to 4 or the 10 to 2 or whatever that time block is. Sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does. But the point is that you'll have not only your specific meetings and appointments in there, you're going to have the entire day mapped out for you. And that's going to relieve a ton of stress because your framework is there. You're going to walk into wherever you're going, knowing exactly what you're going to be doing, what to expect. And when kind of things come at you from left and right throughout the day, you'll be able to handle them a lot better. Trust me, it works. Point number three is to kind of have your own personal purpose or hobby. And this could be anything from just working out, dieting, some type of a sport, maybe video games, maybe TV. It could be, binge watching, your favorite shows or something. But to have something specifically to yourself, I think is really important, especially if it's around some type of self-improvement, like either maybe a sport, play golf, play tennis, something like that, where you can measure yourself and you can try to improve. Working out, dieting, losing weight, recording that weight, what you're losing, you're working out, recording the exercises that you're doing, getting yourself into that routine, and most importantly, a habit. And that habit, that routine, that purpose or hobby that you're doing inside the calendar, absolutely inside the calendar. So now all of a sudden you've got your alone time up in the morning. Then you've got your purpose or your hobby at some point during the day. Those are time for yourself. And if you invest in yourself, if you give yourself a chance to kind of, enjoyment, have enjoyment for yourself and do things selfishly for yourself. Again, for yourself, for yourself, for yourself, it's going to enhance the rest of the day, and it's going to enhance your quality of life, and it's going to enhance the quality of life around you for the people around you, because you're going to be able to show up energized and excited and happy and fulfilled and all of that stuff, because that's important. I have a big time block at the end of my day from 5 to 10. I go to sleep at 10 o'clock. From 5 to 10, it's pink, and it's all family time. But I wouldn't be able to give on that family time if I didn't have that personal time. I really do believe that. So point number four, step number four, no news is good news. Don't watch the news, turn it off 100%. Maybe check the weather, check some local news here or there, maybe have some background noise. If you want to see some of the national stuff or you want to have it in the background, that's fine. But if you're buckled in and really listening and paying attention to what's going on a daily basis with the news, you're going to spiral into this negativity that is not going to get you anywhere. The reality is that any news worth reporting on, you're going to hear from somebody, and it's going to be there. You're going to find it. But to put so much energy and effort and interest into the news is just it's just no good for you. It's just not a good thing. I gave up the news, I would probably say like 7 years ago. I don't watch the news at all. Again, maybe it's in the background. Maybe I'll do it for entertaining purposes, entertainment. The weather, those things are important, but I don't buckle down and listen to the opinions and the pundits and all that stuff anymore. It just doesn't serve me, and it won't serve you either, I guarantee you. So no news is good news. Get rid of the news. Finally, the last point is to have a little grace. Give yourself a little grace. Sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes things kind of veer off the track. Sometimes you mess up. Sometimes things happen that you weren't expecting. But you got to be able to let it roll off your back a little bit, maybe laugh at it, just understand the idea of if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. It's a really important kind of thing out there, I think. And if you get too caught up in the results and you beat yourself up for not getting this done or not doing that, just kind of take a beat, relax, and don't worry about it. Kind of live in the process. Live in the I guess it's the process, the effort that you put in. So long as you put that effort in and you've got good intentions, the results will most likely follow. Maybe they won't come quick, but they will follow. But if you are purposeful throughout your day and purposeful with what you're trying to do and really put that effort in, the rest kind of falls into place and you're going to be fine. So give yourself a little grace, pat yourself on the back, be excited, be happy from where you came from. You can always look back and say, look, look at where I was two years ago. I was 190 pounds 2 years ago, and now I'm like 176, 177. Happy about that. Did it take a long time to get there? Yeah, but now you look back and you're like, oh, you know what? I built a habit along the way. Now I changed my diet a little bit. I'm in the gym every other day. I fixed the treadmill in the basement, got that going. So anyway, the point is that we're always evolving, we're always growing, we're always changing. Have yourself a little grace, be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the back, and you won't have as much stress when you do that. If you don't, you're going to have a lot of stress. So anyway, this is kind of a long video. I hope everybody stuck till the end. And I'd love to see you guys connect with me. Love to do some business together or just get together and have some good times. Anyway, have a great day. We'll talk to you real soon on the Real Estate Machine Show.